If I had failed that day, I would still be in merchant navy. I would be making 10 lakh rupees a month. Shark Tank was, I think, brilliant. You are so prepared, right? कि ये तो bouncer ही आने वाला है. And then somebody balls your york.
ऐसा क्या नहीं है यार, बहुत सारे लोग अलग अलग ड्रिंक बेच रहे हैं मार्केट में.
When we went into the tank, they completely flipped. And then they will show you. I would have told myself, yeah, beginner's luck tha, I sold 40 bottles, now it's done, now it's over. When I got microdose of success, slowly, and people calling me and whatever, then you get addicted.
It's like playing that next round.
It's like dopamine of the highest level. I need all the kindness that I can use in a city like this. You know how crazy Bombay can get, right? 96% of the businesses close in the first 3 years. I have survived this, I can do better.
अलग अलग जगह पे हिट हुआ है.
Kombucha is a 2,500-year-old concept of fermented tea. So the green tea or the black tea that you drink, we just happen to ferment it.
What?
So if you have a MAVI's product anywhere in the country, I used to be a hard seller. Hard seller, matlab somebody called me and said, like, bought a bottle of your Kerry Mirchi Kombucha. Like, I just called to tell you that I will never ever buy your Kombucha again. So I was really pissed at this brand, okay? For duping me, man. The only thing they don't understand, people who are buying this brand, they are buying it because of the name. It would probably mean सबका भगवान होता है ना, बोलते हैं everyone has their own god.
You have actors, people endorsing it.
How can you sleep at night, man? Like doing this.
Hello, wonderful people of the internet. Welcome to yet another episode of the Elsonomics. I have yet again a special founder with me, and as you can see, we have some nice drinks lined up. Guys, this episode is not sponsored. I wish it was, but we're going to try these drinks, I hope, and we're going to learn a lot about the wonderful world of fermented drinks, the founder journey of building a D2C brand from knowing nothing. And what I'm super keen on is these myth busters of what the world of kombucha, kefir, kvass, all of that. If you have not heard of it, or if you have kind of heard about it around you, this is the episode for you. I also have a special segment at the end where we're going to go through some rapid fire, so stay tuned till the end. So without further ado, let me introduce our speaker for the day, and that is Mr. Vikram Mittal. Vikram, over to you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your story?
So my name is Vikram, and I'm an accidental entrepreneur.
Sure.
So I never studied anything to be an entrepreneur, no MBA degrees, no F&B background, nothing. One thing I definitely have is passion, and that's taken me all this throughout my 40 years of my life. I think that's been carrying me around. I was born and brought up in Jaipur, and Bombay throughout my life has turned out to be my Karam Bhumi, as they call it, right? So all my work, I was in merchant navy.
Yeah.
So Bombay used to be the place for exams, for this, for, passport, visas, everything. And then when I came to Bombay, so now when we started fermenting, and so MAVI's was born in Bombay.
Yeah. You've traveled all across India, but with Merchant Navy, you also travel across the globe, right?
54 countries.
Holy shit. Okay. Okay. So I've traveled 17 countries. And I thought that is a good number. But I love the stories of, because I have a couple of friends in Merchant Navy as well. And it is a glamorous job. You have, 6 months you work correct me if I'm wrong, but you work for 6 months, the other 6 months you don't have any work, you don't have to pay taxes, you get to wear a cool uniform. And you get to travel the world, right? Is this right? Is this what Merchant Navy is?
So the only true part out of everything is that it's a cool job.
Okay.
Perception of it is at least, and that it pays really well. I think I can agree on both counts. But when we started, the money was really good because everything else was not as high paying. But I think in the last 20 years, other jobs, land jobs, so to say, they pay you so well. Even the starting packages out of an engineering college or of any college for that matter are very decent compared to the grind that you have to put for Merchant Navy. Right? I didn't start it post Merchant Navy, by the way.
Okay.
Like I said, accidental entrepreneur. I was in Bombay to give my chief engineer's exam, and I was doing really well. Otherwise, I was working with one of the biggest companies in the world, Maersk. I started off, I had 100% scholarship, creme a la creme and everything. All my batchmates are like shipping masters now. And
So you were good at studies. You're not like the...
I'm really good at studies. I was always A plus student and etc. And I was cadet captain in my college and my school, all of these prefects and head boys and sports.
So this was not like a fallback कि यार मुझे कुछ और नहीं आता था इसीलिए मैं business चला.
No, so I
Tell us about the story of accidental entrepreneur to Kombucha King.
So Kombucha King. So you finally bought it. But no. So one, I think Kombucha King is usually saved for GT Dave, who's the first guy who started kombucha, first commercial kombucha brand in the US in 1995. So the Kombucha King term is really saved for him. I could be the Indian Kombucha King, but I know there's a whole bunch of people on all different podcasts and all over the internet calling themselves whatever and showing off, etc. I just wanted like respect, chill, which will come with money. So money and then everything else in that order.
Respect number one.
Respect number one, yeah, because I grew up watching like Seahawks and Samandar, etc. All these things on DD1 when there was no Metro and there was no other channels, only 2 channels, And so the only ever dream was plan A, B, C was to join the Indian Navy. And when that didn't happen, after crying a lot and everything, and then I was doing my Bangalore studies, and then Merchant Navy happened because my dad saw an ad by Maersk, and so my dad said, why don't you try this? And I was like, I don't want to go through that heartbreak of really wanting something and not getting it. You're setting up yourself for failure, right? And I didn't want to do that, but he said, give it one more try. Try IIT, try everything you did not do last year because of your, SSB, your Indian Navy exams, etc. So do everything, and if this does not happen,
What is SSB?
Service Selection Board.
But my question is, assume what's the difference between Navy and Merchant Navy as well? Go there.
When you say Seahawks and Samandar and all the Indian naval and caps and uniforms, etc., you're usually referring to the Indian Navy that is responsible for
They're the guys that are
the protection. Correct. Yeah, so protect you from all the attacks and terror attacks and wars, etc., etc. That's Indian Navy. And there was no Merchant Navy. Nobody in my family, in my immediate family, in my first circle of influence ever knew about Merchant Navy. So there was no question of Merchant Navy. There was only Indian Navy because respect, government job, everything
Uniform.
is right there. Uniform, everybody is happy, right? So everything's good. And Merchant Navy is the sort of the business part of things, right? So when you have to take, say these clothes, if they were made in China or Vietnam or wherever, if they had to go to US, flights would be too expensive. So shipping is the cheapest.
the cargo, the containers.
So containers. So everything from wine to candles to meat to flowers to fruits to clothes, electronics, everything. 95% of the world trade happens through shipping.
And Maersk is one of the largest. I mean, I've seen their logos on the containers.
Correct. So Maersk, MSC, you will see all of these. So these are the biggest companies. Maersk I'm not really sure at this point, but one of the biggest in container shipping, right? They're really big, right? They have 500 ships.
Yeah. I mean, their logos are very.
Correct. You will see every second or third container, you would see Maersk with a star, etc. So very fancy. And then they had this course in India, which was fully sponsored by them. And of course, if you are going to be sponsoring someone, you might sponsor some really, well-to-do in the sense of studies.
They sponsor you to become a Merchant Navy.
So they sponsored my entire college education. Some 200, not just me, but 223 of us that was selected with the program.
And how do you get into this? Is it after you go for your SSB exam, they're like, "Tune nahi mila to ye hai."
ऐसे नहीं होता. So if you want to do Indian Navy, there is Service Selection Board. So there, once you have all government government jobs and everything, you have to write an exam. Basic MCQ tha. I'm talking 2004 when I wrote this exam. I had no preparation for it. I just gave it because that's how we did things back then. Right now you have coaching institute for everything, right? Not back then. So I did this exam. I got a call. My board exam finished on 24th of March, if I remember correctly, in 2004, and 25th was on my SSB in Bangalore. Luckily for me, my dad had just moved to Bangalore and company gave him flight tickets to bring his family. So I could actually make it, finish my exam 24th, take a flight, go to Bangalore and attend my service selection board. Now, it is a 4 or 5 day long process where you go through physical test, aptitude test, mental toughness test, on different things. Okay. Because you have to imagine,
they need the cream of the cream.
No, they don't need. They need people who can survive the toughest things, man. There's no food. You should be able to adapt to eat whatever. You should be physically tough enough, mentally tough enough that if you're dropped in a jungle, imagine. I mean, you can't even light chala jata hai na. There's no power. People go bonkers. like what to do. They're huffing and puffing. Imagine in a jungle, dark, cold, no food with you, nothing. You should be able to survive all this. You need certain, of course, they will train you.
You
for
need
it.
to be like a Bear Grylls.
Correct. So of course you need to train for it, but you need to have a certain aptitude for it.
Enterprise as well. You need to be enterprise.
Correct. Enterprising. You need to be mentally tough. You need to be determined. You need to be perseverant. You need to have that ki nahi, I can, I will. That sort of an attitude. Yeah. So I think, and luckily for me,
That actually translates also into the entrepreneurship life.
100%. I think it transforms into
The
everything.
uncertainty, the figuring it out on the go.
Correct.
You need that.
In all aspects of your life, if you really want to do something that really makes a difference, you will have to take chances. You will have to go through heartbreaks. You will have to go through failures. And when you're growing up in school, all these things, failures are the stepping stones of success and all of that. And it's true. Then we're like,
हाँ ये तो moral science में ठीक
moral
है.
science. You're like, number कम आएंगे.
एक मार्क का आंसर ये है.
So teachers are going to, if you don't score well, teachers really don't bother with you, right? And everything, you're like, oh, ये तो student अच्छा नहीं है, जो पढ़ाई में अच्छा वो अच्छा है, you think like that.
The exact opposite.
Right, and when you come out of life, you realize that you might be making the most amount of money, but you may not be the most loved person in the room.
Yeah.
Like people who flock for people are not usually the richest people. They are the people who are, they have
Who have
some
character,
aura about
who
it,
have-
character about it.
And you need failure for character development.
Correct, because success gives you confidence, but failure gives you character.
True. Very true.
So unless you have micro dose of success every now and then, every day, basically, it won't give you the confidence to.
It'll burn you out.
It'll burn you out. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I think it'll burn you out. Khair, so Merchant Navy and Indian Navy, this is the difference. Indian Navy didn't happen. Merchant Navy eventually happened while I was doing my BSc Physics, Chemistry, Maths, Basic BSc in St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science in Bangalore. So my dad came up with this ad. I gave the exam, cleared it, got through. So this was good. And nobody in my family ever had any interaction with Indian Navy or Merchant Navy. So there was no way for me to know ki actually what does it mean to be in the Merchant Navy. So only when I joined it, I realized, and also in college is like college, right?
Yeah.
Of course, you have a uniform, you get up, etc. You go to the class, you have muster, you have all the Merchant Navy things. You feel like it's somewhat Indian Navy, but all of that changes when you go to the ship. Ship is very different. I have worn my uniform maybe twice in 10 years.
Okay.
Because one, I was an engineer.
Okay.
So engineers don't wear the uniform,
You have to wear your fair.
coveralls, boiler suits, and it is always dirty. So if someone came, we had an extra boiler suit which was clean. Still a boiler suit, not a uniform.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I really understood in Merchant Navy was that yes, it is good paying, and it really hurts me now that I'm an entrepreneur and the check does not come every 28th of the month or the 27th of the month. Travel, yes. But you need to recognize these things. Nobody tells you how to capitalize on these experiences. Because when you're young, when you're 19, 20, 21, 22, you are too young. In Indian context, we've never got freedom, right? Till you're in school, your parents are telling you everything. Your teachers are telling you, literally spoon feeding you everything.
Post engineering college is when you first understand कि हाँ अभी I've done school.
Even engineering, they are spoon feeding you everything. There's exams. There's nothing like really free education. Like there's no exposure apart from whatever is there in the books and the libraries. And when you get out of there, then you realize that life is very different. Then you realize that because in school you will have friends around you. College, if you're lucky, you still have friends around you.
Yeah.
But only once you get out of college, you realize that everyone's going to be moving in a different direction. Now you need that support system now will start building that will last you for a long.
You have to go through your own journey.
Correct. And you need to find your community, your tribe at a certain point, which will stay with you for the rest of your years. Of course, there's going to be evolution and people will change. Maybe your college mates will come back. Yeah. Maybe your school friends will be there. Maybe you go back and live in the same city you were there.
You need to be intentional about it. Like in school life, your friends and all are a default.
Yes.
Yes. Now once you reach your adult life, you're like, now I need to build my friendships, build my support system, your family, religion, all of that.
So when I came to Bombay and I wanted to do my exams, I chose to live with one of my college friends who's one of my best friends. Right? I stayed with him. That's how I started making kombucha at his house, because how much beer can someone drink on a daily basis?
Let's do that. Let's lighten the mood. In fact, I've been tempting every time I've been speaking. I want to try it out. Let's crack one open, say cheers, and this thing makes you drunk?
No, yeah.
No?
They're good mixers.
Assume I don't know anything about kombucha, but
This is hibiscus ginger ale. I'm not giving you a kombucha, yeah, because I know you've had a lot of kombucha before that, but I don't think you've had a ginger ale like this ever before.
so this is ginger ale, like the one that you get.
Yes. Cheers. Difference being that this is a real ginger ale. There is actual ginger. There is actual everything, and not a natural identical flavor and a lot of sugar. So it's very low sugar relatively.
Yeah, I can taste the ginger for sure. It says hibiscus.
So we added hibiscus petals for flavoring and also the color. It comes from all natural sources.
Okay, so this is not kombucha.
This is not
So Mavi's does a lot more than kombucha.
kombucha.
I think so. Tell us about that journey also.
So kombucha came into our life because my wife is not big on alcohol. She rarely ever drinks alcohol. Okay. So when we were in the US, I had promised my wife before we got married, when she was my girlfriend. So I promised her that, unlike other people who go for a honeymoon for like 5-10 days in some exotic location, we will go for a very long honeymoon because I'm in merchant navy and I have all the time in the world. Okay. So I told her we'll go to US, we'll do honeymoon. So honeymoon happened a little later because
Also, let's not refer to your wife in third person. What's her name? Because I know there's a story to her as well.
So Meenakshi, her name is Meenakshi.
You call her something?
Call her Mashi. So her friends call her Mashi. Okay. Unfortunately, in Bombay and in Marathi, Moshi and Mashi seems very
auntie, right?
Auntie, like mother's sister, right? But her friends call her Mashi. So, and of course, Meenakshi is like too long, I think, too many syllables.
It would have been a longer name.
Correct, Meenakshi, Vikram, So, Mashi is like easy. So, Mashi and Vikram. So, that's how the name came about, Mavis. Okay.
So Ma for Mashi.
Correct. V for Vikram, and a little alcohol is involved. You come up with all these crazy ideas. Okay? Because then kombucha was not that big in our life, right? We were just beginning. So, we went to the US and we were staying with some friends. And these are the same folks because of whom we met in India. And well, anyways, so when we went to the US, of course, we had to go to them because they stay in the US. Okay. And they have a small farm and everything. So like, homesteading and very super cool, very like easy peasy, low key life types. So we went to them and we were staying with them. And of course, so drinking, of course, what are you going to do, right? So chill. So we were having, we were discussing what to drink, and Meenakshi said, I don't want to have beer, I don't like beer, and I don't like this wine, and I don't want alcohol, so can I have something else? So then my friend said kombucha, and I'm like, whatever it is, if it's not alcoholic, I don't want it, right? My wife liked it, so that's how we got, so we were there for about a couple of weeks.
And they made the kombucha? They brewed?
Yeah, they made it at home, and this is 2017, June, July. So we had some kombucha and we were there for about a couple of weeks. So ek hafte Meenakshi ne thoda bahut, she had some kombucha every now and then. Every time we were drinking now, like this is something that I can drink, right? So when we were leaving, he said, why don't you take some home and you can make it at home? Because you can't find any kombucha in India. 54 countries, and I had never heard of kombucha.
So when did you start Mavi's?
2017 we discovered kombucha. And 27, I came back, I bought some kombucha culture with me because of course we didn't have any kombucha anywhere, so we wanted to make it at home.
So in 2017, you're in the US, you first try it out, and then you decide, okay, India mein aake I'll taste it.
I will make, just for us, because my wife wanted to make my wife happy. It's that simple, because if I am drinking a beer, she's entitled to have some fun, have something not like orange juice and coffee and chach and whatever not, right? Then we decided that we're going to be in Bombay for some time. So every evening we had nothing to do, right? So we used to end up like having a beer or, just chilling with friends or whatever. So we decided, okay, how about we make some kombucha? Okay. And because it's anyways, we have some and we're going to be here for a few months. So might as well make some kombucha.
So how easy is it to make? Like when you say make kombucha, I've heard some people have this making beer at home. I don't even know if it's legal. And I've heard of this term called SCOBY or Scooby or whatever. So explain a little bit about that also.
So kombucha is a fermented beverage. Beer is also a fermented beverage. Alcohol, in India, we are not allowed to make alcohol at home.
So this home brewing that
Home brewing is actually not allowed. People do it because it's personal consumption. Nobody is really bothering. And in, like, for example, Anglo-Eastern culture. So, in, like, say, for example, in Christians, in Bombay Catholics, a lot of people make wine, right? You make a lot of wine. And it is not like you're selling or whatever, or even if you were like passing around in a small circle, nobody really bothers, right? But the moment you commercialize things, that's when the government steps in and says, hey, what, right? So in general, kombucha and ginger ale, everything we're making is non-alcoholic for all practical purpose. There will be trace amounts, but again, a ripe pineapple also has trace amounts of alcohol. So you're going to stop eating pineapple now, or you're going to have raw pineapple. So that's the same funda. So now kombucha is very easy to make, fairly easy to make. Once you get the hang of the basic process, like it's like making roti, like anything that you want to do in life, it's as easy. Once you do it enough times, it becomes easy for you.
it's like once that muscle is built, then it's easier.
Correct.
It's that building that muscle is
So building it up to that point, people don't bake bread in India, and I think baking a bread in India is like he bakes bread at home.
Yeah, fancy. You have an oven. Oh, okay.
And the fact is, bread is the easiest thing to bake. It's like just making roti or naan or whatever at home. It's just that because traditionally we are not being taught by our mothers and grandmothers to make bread. That's why people find it a little fancy. We are okay with dhokla, which is fermented. We are okay with idli, which is fermented. We are okay with jalebi batter, which is technically supposed to be fermented. Okay. Yeah, that's how jalebi has like a khatta, thoda sa sarish taste and the sweetness from the sugar, etc. So one of those days, a friend's brother was visiting us from UK, and he tried kombucha, and he's like, I have never had anything like this, and this is amazing. How can I make this at home? Where can I buy this and whatever? And we were like, wow, somebody's really impressed with what we are making, and we were really happy about it. Then he said, why don't you sell it? And I'm like, yeah, who will buy this?
Right. Yes. The age-old D2C founder question.
Who will buy this? And I wasn't thinking of from a D2C point of view. I'm like, do I really want to put that effort in? Like I told you, I'm like the laziest guy in the world. Right. I don't want to do things which I don't have to do. If it doesn't interest me, I don't want to do it. And something interests me, I will go out of my way to do it, no matter if it's day. There are days I don't eat for 20 hours, 24 hours, not because I don't like food. I like food. I love food. I can eat all day. But because I'm so engrossed in something else that it really doesn't matter whether there is food, water, whatever available.
Good point. So what was that aha moment for you to go from अरे ये क्यों करना है तो अरे इसमें कुछ है?
So one, that this somebody from UK who has so much exposure telling us कि ये तो वहाँ पे भी नहीं मिलता तो तुम क्यों नहीं करते, है ना? Opportunity. दूसरा, so we decided to go to the farmers market. Now Bombay is one of the best. Farmers market are these like spots usually over the weekends where they're like a bunch of people, like a flea market.
Right.
But farmers, because there is vegetable focused, organic ingredient focused, that way. Is
this like the mandi or Sunday mandi? No.
Sunday mandi is like, yes, vegetables only, right?
This is more fancy.
This is everything. Like this is, you'll get some eatables also, you'll get rice also, you'll get some, maybe some menstrual pads also, which are like organic cotton and whatever and whatnot. We did not know what vegan was. And there were two farmers market in Bombay that were really popular. One was in Bandra, still is in Bandra, very, very popular. We never got around that market. There's another big story I can rant about why we did not go there.
So they were gatekeeping and stuff like that?
Gatekeeping, high charges, the person who runs the market is a little, can be a little eccentric for a lack of I think that's the best word. They can be a little eccentric at times. Sure. They've done their work, but eccentricity is like, and we're new to Bombay, man. Like, I need all the kindness that I can use in a city like this. You know how crazy Bombay can get, right? And honestly, it is that kindness that has brought us here. Like the people I've met, it's crazy how strangers would help you. And in my life, or my entrepreneurial journey, these 7 years, I can't count the number of times it has enabled me to do something that I thought would never happen. All of us are not with somebody, friends. We made like the best friends we made. People who we don't have to worry about calling or just walking up to their door in the middle of the night and saying, ki, we are here. They will not ask, ki, kya ho gaya? First they will say,
I love that about Bombay, by the way. I love that about Bombay, that everyone's hustling, but they're also there to help. And
But I feel that in Bombay, yes, there is a part of it, and she understand. I'm saying I'm lucky that I found such people. But I also know places like Bombay can get real lonely real fast because everyone has their own hustle, right?
Yeah, it's a very individualistic country.
City, you have to be a certain kind of person to be able to attract the other people as well. खैर, so वो हुआ, हम लोग farmers market में हमने, we took beer bottles. This is like story I've said so many times and it never gets old or boring for me. We took like 40, 50
beer bottles.
Okay. We cleaned them. We got a machine to cap them, filled them up with 2-3 flavors. I think we had classic kombucha, we had watermelon and mint, and we had ginger and honey. See, so basically that's how we started kombucha.
So you saw opportunity, you went to the farmers market.
We sold everything on that first form.
Oh, you sold out?
Yeah. So we sold our 40.
How many bottles?
40 odd bottles.
That's pretty good.
Yes, but like now if I look at it, if I had failed that day, I would still be in merchant navy. I would be making 10 lakh rupees a month and 6 months of vacation. But because I succeeded, that microdose of success that I talked about, that gave me the confidence to pursue this, right? Say, if I had failed the second time or the third time or the fourth time, I would have like, this does not work and it is not for me.
First, beginner's luck is...
Correct. Beginner's luck, I would have told myself, yeah, beginner's luck tha, I sold 40 bottles, now it's done, now it's over. But when I got microdose of success, slowly, and people calling me and whatever, then you get addicted. It's like dopamine of the highest level. This kind of, when you do something on your own, why do people, because entrepreneurship is addictive.
Yeah, it's addictive. It doesn't make any logical sense. Entrepreneurship makes no logical sense.
No logical sense.
But it is addictive. And it's a game. It's like playing that next round.
Every time I see a restaurant close, I'm like, wow, this one closed. Like I never thought when they started, I really wanted to be in this place, etc. Now they're closed. In one way, I'm really sad. And then I remember that what Riaz and Pooja, they had a podcast and 3 podcast with Nikhil Kamath. And they mentioned that how 96% of the businesses close in the first 3 years. And a lot more close in the first 2 years only and whatever. I'm like, see, they have closed, matlab my odds have gone up. Very simple, right? Plus I see I have survived so many years. So I am in for the long haul. I have survived this, I can do better.
By the way, guys, Vikram is a Shark Tank contestant.
Shark Tank, yeah. We appeared on Shark Tank, featured on Shark Tank.
So I want to talk about that.
So let's finish this quickly. So this happened. We sold all our bottles. Then of course it's addictive. So we did, this is Kokum. Kokum is a very...
I like that better.
So I told you once you drink ginger ale, there's very, very little going back. But Kokum is very, very Maharashtrian flavor. Okay. And Kokum is supposed to be like tarty, like sour.
Yeah, this has got like a lot of, how do I put it?
Correct. Complexity. So that's what
It's more like wine.
Again, so when you have more ingredients, the notes will be more complex. So we do a hops kombucha, for example. Hops is the same flower that you flavor the beer with, right? That brings out flavors. Like when people say, "Na, isme notes hai, isme floral notes hai." I of course I've had like enough alcohol in my life to say that there are notes, right? Like smoky and whatever. But only when you drink that and you're like, there is lychee in it. There's like no lychee in whatever, right? Not in the building.
It's the wooden casket or whatever.
Correct. So because we are fermenting, certain hops will give off a very lychee sort of flavor and this to it. So now it comes from fermentation. So fermentation changes a lot of things in terms of flavor. There's more flavor. This is only ginger. It has tea. It has kokum. It has a lot of other things to bring flavor to
the complexity.
Complexity is note. If you drink, a lot of times when people drink ginger, they are like, oh, this is lemon ginger. But they don't understand that the sourness they are attributing to lemon is actually the sourness of the drink, of kombucha.
Got it. Right. Tell me this now. So let's just do a quick one-line breakdown of all the drinks. Okay. Ginger ale mein ginger hai. Ginger ale is a non-alcoholic ginger beer. It's made with ginger, sugar, water. That's it. Okay. Kombucha? Kombucha is a 2,500-year-old concept of fermented tea. So the green tea or the black tea that you drink, we just happen to ferment it. What? Yeah. So of course you have to add sugar and you have... Sure. Yeah, correct. What is a green tea? It's a green tea. Green tea or black tea?
or a combination. Basically, no milk.
हाँ, दूध
Yeah.
वाला चाय नहीं है. हाँ.
उसको ferment करते हैं. It takes about couple of weeks and that's about. So one liner, a 2,300 year old or 2,500 year old fermented tea concept, which is naturally carbonated and great for gut health.
Origination?
China, जहाँ चाय उगती होगी.
Must be.
So
Fair enough.
You know, somewhere around that.
The next one.
Water
I think-
kefir.
Water kefir, हाँ.
So water kefir is another ferment. It's a very quick fermenting, light-bodied soda-like beverage. Yeah, similar to kombucha, but very very low sugar.
And which one is that?
That one and this, the last two ones, yeah, the watermelon mint and the blue pea flower kefir. And then there is kanji, which I don't have it for some reason because my team decided not to give me any. But kanji is
This is one that I think carrots and beet.
correct. Yeah. So the popular kanji version is either the rice version or the carrot version. The carrot version is very popular in the north of India in
You put
winters.
some mustards in.
Correct. So mustard seed, salt, etc. And the beetroot version is like a round the year thing when you don't get carrots, right? And the rice one is popular in the rice eating communities. So say eastern coastal areas, Orissa, Bengal, these places. Okay. What makes beet kanji very popular is one, it's one of the best sources of iron and folates. Yeah. Two, it's zero sugar, so anyone can have it. All the sugar from the beetroot or the carrot
Right.
is again like the fermentation, right? So it's all consumed during the fermentation process, right?
Got it.
So and there is no sweetness to it. So when at MAVI's, when you drink something, if it is sweet, it is sweet. If it is not supposed to be sweet, it will not be sweet. We don't believe in using artificial sweeteners or whatever because I think that defeats the whole point.
But a lot of other kombucha brands do that, right? Okay, I mean to make it more Indian palatable, but is this the main drink? So we have kombucha, we have kefir, water kefir, we have
Kanji and ginger ale.
Okay, ginger ale. And these are the main drinks.
And we don't call it ginger beer for a simple reason because the moment you say beer, so people associate with alcohol and then they feel that it means alcohol hoga. Alcohol hoga ya nahi hoga, wo to dur ka baat hai. But just like people,
You know, it's like root beer, ginger beer in India at won't sell. Tell me this now, can I make a blanket assumption that all of this is healthy or good for me?
Yes.
Or is it, because I remember seeing in a recent podcast where they said this is just a better version of Coke.
it is a better version of Coke if you don't do what it's supposed to do. So if you make kombucha, or why do people make kombucha or drink kombucha? If you go back to it, because it's supposed to be a raw, alive, full of bacteria, good acids. But if you're going to pasteurize it and you're going to use natural identical flavors and natural sweeteners,
So it's not even kombucha.
technically I wouldn't call it kombucha, but let's say because it's a fermented tea, it's still kombucha. But it's not healthy anymore. If you have pasteurized it, you've killed all the bacteria and everything, all the living items, all the living things in that bottle, you've killed everything. Now it's great for sales because now you can sell it on, Instamart and Blinkit and Zepto and whatever. And you have a shelf life of 6 months or 1 year or whatever. So you can sell it anywhere. You don't have to
You can't sell kombucha on these platforms?
So far, we've not been lucky because these platforms
Very critical about beer.
critical about ki temperature. See, one to pull kam hai because people are still getting around it. Secondly, they need glass bottles. चलो glass bottles तो बाकी लोग भी करते हैं. More important thing is storage and handling.
They expire quite fast.
Expire तो नहीं होगा लेकिन क्या है ना, if it gets too fizzy, right? Like when we're opening the bottle, if it gets too fizzy, let's say if it leaks or all of these things, if someone opens, so it has to be maintained at a certain temperature, है ना? So that adds to the cost and handling, and how many people are you going to teach, right? So all these problems these days we are having with Zepto or Blinkit or whatever, their warehouse is being raided.
Correct.
It is not because the founder wants to sell you bad stuff.
They don't know how to.
They have.
There's a process to it. There's a way to.
Let's say you have 1,000 stores, dark stores. That means you have at least 10,000 employees. Teaching those 10,000 employees to behave a certain way is impossible.
The attrition is एक दिन.
Correct. And attrition, you're bang on. And that's next thing out is attrition. आज आपने 10,000 लोगों को train कर दिया. Tomorrow 100 leave this week. What are you going to do? So that is the problem. And of course, it is people are to be blamed.
Yeah.
My customers, they come to me and say, Vikram, why don't you sell on Swiggy or Blinkit or whatever? And I'm like, yaar, these problems. And they're like, yeah, but the product.
जुगाड़ कर लो ना.
जुगाड़ कर लो ना, रखो ना, इधर रखो. मैंने बोला, why don't you buy from a store nearby? Yeah, but they will charge delivery fee and they will deliver a little later. I want it now. Like मुझे मन अभी किया है ना, तो मुझे अगले 10 मिनट में मिलना चाहिए. मैंने बोला यार, call the store, request, I'm sure somebody will give it to you, है ना? But the thing is, you want convenience, you get convenience. And there is a cost to pay, है ना? You can go around and blame Swiggy, Zomato, but why are they there? Because of us, because of you, because of me.
Yeah, we are lazy.
But 20 years ago, क्या घर पे खाना नहीं बनता था?
Bro, now I have veggies under my building, but फिर भी I'm like यार Swiggy कर लेते हैं.
So even on a Shark Tank page, like it's because of convenience that we are eating all this crap. If little bit of inconvenience, if we can bear with, we could buy cheaper groceries, we could buy fresher food, we could make fresher food, we could do all of this. But because we don't want that inconvenience, we are breeding into all of this. So these are the 4 beverages that we stay.
And you also have kimchi.
We do kimchi, we do sauerkraut, we do fermented garlic, fermented vegetables, and the market is still small. Kimchi has a good grip on the market. Sure. Not just mine. Like in general, kimchi has
vegan kimchi.
We do is vegan kimchi because
There's
kimchi.
No fish.
No fish sauce, no prawn, no octopus, no nothing, right?
But tell me this, now that you brought up Shark Tank, I mean, we have to address the elephant in the room. I saw your pitch, it was lovely. And one of the points that they also made was, अरे आप kombucha में focus करो, जो भी है. Answer this. When was your Shark Tank pitch?
21 November.
4 years. Did you prove them wrong? Did you prove the sharks wrong?
So, okay, there are 2 sides of it, okay? So, when we were preparing for Shark Tank, while we were shooting there, so we had to make a pitch, we had to come up on our pitch. But once you do your pitch, they tell you to, so tweak it, right? To कि क्या बोलना है, क्या नहीं बोलना है, what works, what everybody has been saying. Say, for example, you are what you eat. Now, some 20 brands before me have already said this. So, they didn't want me repeating that. It is true, but you don't want to repeat, right?
No, even I do that in the podcast. I'm like, if you can tell it in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. So, they said, so when we were telling them, they said, oh, it's a brilliant thing because kombucha is niche. When you have all these products, it makes a lot more sense because then you can cater to a wider audience. Sure. When we went into the tank,
they flipped.
They completely flipped. Because outside somebody else was talking to us and everything.
Sure. They were doing it for the TRP, the others were doing it as founders.
No. It could also be a technique that you say something inside and once you're caught with your pants down, like you're so prepared, right? कि ये तो bouncer ही आने वाला है and then somebody balls your Yorker. You're like, shit, I could have played it well, but I didn't expect it. Field hitting तो ऐसा ही था.
And they want to zoom in on their experience.
Correct. And then they will show you all of that. So that happens.
Overall, how was the experience? And then you get...
Shark Tank was, I think, brilliant for mostly because if it wasn't for the first season, I don't...
And you were part of the first
Correct.
season.
So we had nothing to go back to. It was all like done as is it was. But I also believe that maybe if it didn't pitch it for the first season, we might not get a second chance in the consecutive season because then everyone knows about it and then everyone wants to try it and whatever. So we were lucky that way. Fortune favors the brave. I was brave enough to let myself be vulnerable and be, present in so many people and so many households and make a fool of myself with a small business or to present an idea which, people will go for and against for. But it worked for me. So it was brilliant because it also allowed us to look inwards and see what these questions that these sharks will ask. So when we were preparing, we were like, okay, what are the sharks going to ask? What will you do with the money? How much money do you want? What's your numbers? What are these? So I prepared a whole bunch of things, right? And this was the first time we were ever pitching. So there was no background to us for anything. There was no prep.
Oh, you have not raised any round as well?
Bootstrap, doing it just the way we wanted to. I'm my own boss. That sort of a thing. So when we were in the tank, we realized that, when you see yourself on television, have you ever heard yourself, once you do this and you put your headphones on and you listen to how you sound,
like why?
Right? You're like, dude, really? I thought I sounded really cooler than this probably. Oh, I really sound cool, right? It could go either ways. So when you see yourself on television and you see all these bottles and everything kept there, you're like, it's not good enough. We need to change that. And the moment we did the shoot and we came out and we saw the setup and everything, we knew that we had to change the...
And this was 3 years into the business. And
Yeah, already 3-4 years into the business. 3.5 years into the business. So we thought we have to change this. So we changed. Then we took us 1.5 years to change our branding.
One thing where you're like, man, this almost broke me. Or have you gone through it? Because I know entrepreneurship is a roller coaster and you're like, I want to give up. Ye nahi hoga.
Oh, I have wanted to give up every day. Like every day I get up, I want to give up.
Yeah.
And then I don't. But that's what like all marriages are, isn't it? You want to give up every day and then you just like stay in it, right? Yeah. So like this is a marriage, man. Like you pick up something so beautiful.
You're just locked in.
You're just locked in, and you this is your child, this is your baby. You're not going anywhere. Yeah. And of course, this is business.
Anything that recalls when I say failure or challenge that, oh shit, this was a little tougher day.
यार मुझे लगता है सबसे बड़ा ना आई एम सो क्लोज टू माई प्रोडक्ट एंड I am a type A stressor. You know there are type A and type B stressors.
I know type A people.
Type A is like perfectionist, right? They want certain thing. I am like that. When it comes to my product, I'm very critical. And sometimes I'm so critical, I don't want to try it because I know the moment I try it, I'll have some feedback on it and everything. And it's just not with my product, with everyone.
It's like that Amir Khan
thing, I can't compare him. He's like a legend and whatever. But like, so when I'm trying my product, I'm like, yaar, ye thoda sa khatta ho gaya, ye thoda sa meetha ho gaya, ye aisa hai, waisa hai. For people, it doesn't matter. But I don't know inside. Yeah. That is why I can't cheat with you. That's why I can't tell you that there is no sugar in kombucha. There is, this is so healthy. Because I have to live with myself. I have to wake up. Yeah. That's why it's difficult to give it up because I know this has my blood, sweat and tears, everything that goes into it. My biggest failure or challenge. Failure to nahi hai yaar. Because every time I failed, I realized I failed.
Fair.
Hai na? And then I realized this is like not even an iota of failure that can come. Sure. So this is only...
I'm thinking that's the next day or the 6 months later, wo acha tha. I'm saying that moment where...
That moment, like, so for example, so we lost like Mac Street Kitchen, right? Mm-hmm. We were the first brand to start kombucha with them, I think, right? In table and everywhere. Now, because there was some confusion between what is beet quash and what is water kefir and what is kombucha, they were put in the same section on the menu. Okay? And then they did not, like somebody ordered a kombucha and they ordered a beetroot kanchi kombucha. So what they're getting is not kombucha at all.
Right.
So then you have returns and everything. So before we could figure out everything, we it sort of fell out. Yeah, they decided to part ways in that sense. They gave us I only came to know it once it got too bad. And that was disappointing for me because, that was a good clientele. Yeah. Plus, I know them, we started, like during COVID, we started working with them. Yeah. And, the founder and everyone, like, Jay and Gauri, etc. They're very nice people in general otherwise.
That's a good point because I think education of this, like, product is probably one of a challenge.
Correct. So we only realized that education is going to be a problem because we thought we were only dealing with educated people because it's a premium product. But it doesn't work like that. Like I can't expect people to just learn about something just because I am, like they will get curious. Not everybody is me. Now I get curious over shampoo bottles.
Right.
But
yeah, you look at the labels, you're like, ye kaise banaya? But not everyone. Other people are like, just chalana. Fair.
So I get curious, I ask questions. People don't. So you need to educate them. I used to be a hard seller. Hard seller, matlab I would open your mouth and put kombucha in your mouth and say drink because this is good for you.
Oh, okay.
But you only realize these things, when you get feedback and you understand that, you're trying to tell people kombucha is healthy.
Yeah.
But for them, health comes.
They don't care about it.
They don't care about health, one. And even if it's healthy, it has to be certain amount of tasty to them.
Yeah. All those lessons that you have about YCP, it's like... It depends. Like you're having different ICPs trying the same drink. Correct. And you have to appeal to...
Absolutely. So you need to have a product which, okay, this is my target audience. So in this group, I can get away with this. If someone has tried kombucha, I should be able to pass.
It should be kombucha, but it should also appeal like that sort of thing.
Nobody has ever told me. Now I'm not boasting, but this is like a thing. Nobody has ever said my kombucha was not good. Ever.
Wow.
But people have told me that, they had some other brand which was shit and that's why they don't like kombucha anymore.
I was telling you, yeah.
Right? That happens. So it gives me a lot of pride when I go to the markets and people say, hey, I don't want kombucha, it's not for me. Sure. Now I understood that when people say it's not for me, it's because they've tried another brand and they don't like kombucha. So they are not averse to kombucha. They're averse to that particular brand of kombucha. So I have a very good conversion rate. Maybe like 90-95%.
You say you're a hard seller, but the first time we met is when, we were at the Little Flea. We were all friends and you were sampling. you weren't selling. In fact, I remember my friend who was your friend, our mutual friend, she was the one who was like, try this, try that. And you were just you were just passing. And I was like, oh, sweet guy.
So again, see, it took me 2-3 years to come to a stage where I got comfortable and confident that microdosing of success. I know when people are drinking kombucha, I know that I can't force them to have a second cup. But if they like this,
they will come
back on their own. So you just have to present them a viable option.
And I did call you up and I'm like, come for this. It worked.
So honestly, like I understood that like blueberries are most popular flavor, for example. So when somebody new comes to me, I always offer them a blueberry. Or if I know that they've had kombucha and I don't know where they will lean to, I would offer them a ginger ale.
Right.
Correct? Right. Why? Because I know that
you need to first get sensitized, get curious, then want to be educated. You can't be, अरे math का algebra आज ही solve करो.
नहीं ये अच्छा है तो तुम पियो. अरे यार अच्छा बच्चा होगा, मेरे को नहीं अच्छा लग रहा. दुनिया में बहुत चीज़ अच्छी है. रनिंग करना बहुत अच्छा होता है. I don't like running. I get bored.
Give me my ginger ale, मैं वो पिएगा and बाद में तू बोल ये भी अभी अच्छा.
Yes. And yes, a lot of times people are like, नहीं ginger ale ही best था. But that's okay. At least out of 10 things, I'm able to sell them one thing. अगर kombucha पी के if they get ticked off, they will not. Some people don't even try anything else. नहीं, and they will just walk away, right?
I have a question. So, when you are a founder building a T2C brand and you have like multiple SKUs, how do you choose this, that, and has there been like, okay, this is selling really well and this is not selling? Do you shell it off? How does that work?
So one, you have to give yourself enough exposure in terms of the clients. So for example, जैसे मैं जब farmers market हम लोग में जाते थे, so farmers market is a very typical vegan, especially clientele that wanted, and they were like health conscious because you're choosing veganism and coming on a Sunday morning.
They're a different IC.
Correct. Different target audience है. So the moment you get out of there, you're like, oh shit, why are these people not buying it? Then you realize इनका pain point अलग है. उनको health well से इनको tasty ही चाहिए, है ना? किसी को low sugar ही चाहिए. तो उनको टेस्ट से उनको लो शुगर है. आपको टेस्टी है, कम है, ज़्यादा है, वो है, लेकिन लो शुगर होना, टेस्टी भी है ना, तो ग्रेट, बट इट हैज़ टू बी जीरो शुगर और लो शुगर.
Everyone's P0 is different.
Correct. So everyone's requirements are different, everyone's circumstances are different, right? So accordingly those things will change. So as a D2C founder, I have had times when I shelved off something and I bought it up after 3 years again because there was a certain demand and we thought let's give this product a little more finesse.
Which one was that?
So say for example, Aam Panna, right? It's very fizzy because we've kept them out for so long. Cold bottles hold bubble better, yeah, so colder. But what happens is, so this used to get really crazy fizzy. I remember getting a call from someone, I was at home and Dorabji's in Pune. We used to give them 500 ml bottles back in the day, about 5 years ago. So somebody called me, I said like, hi, I said, this is MAVI's. I'm like, yeah. Like I bought a bottle of your Kari Mirchi Kombucha, which is Aam Panna. So I'm like, okay. Like I just called to tell you that I will never ever buy your kombucha again. I'm like, okay. Can you tell me what happened? Like I bought your bottle and I came out and I was really thirsty. So I opened the bottle, half the bottle came out and I paid 250 rupees for it and half the bottle came out. So the experience was not good. So
they didn't
never going to. No, the store had refrigerated. वो आया होगा, उसने ऐसा हिलाया होगा. The product भी अलग था. Product has evolved now. It's much more stable compared to then it was. I've had multiple stories back in the day when we were doing farmers market. People would go home, open the bottle, kitchen or carpet or sofa is now kombucha-fied. है ना? It's been so baptized by kombucha and what.
But I think I was noting a bunch of the new age brands like Whole Truth Foods, etc. They're like, this is the way the product is supposed to be. We are proud of it. You eat it this way. So
we take out some products. Like we were doing a rose...
Ruafza types.
Rose ginger ale. Okay. जैसे hibiscus ginger ale, वैसे rose ginger ale. We took it out of the system. And then people go, oh Vikram, rose बंद कर दिया. I'm like, हाँ यार. The multiple things. One is inventory management. So you have to, as a D2C founder, you have to figure out that once you are exposed to all... So now I have Horeca. I also have...
Horeca is hotel, restaurants, catering.
Catering, yes. I have Horeca, restaurant, cafe, whatever, all of this. I have retail stores, modern trade. I also have some amount of white labeling, etc. for some brands, which is pretty much the same Horeca. And then I have D2C, direct to customer. Okay? Now, all of these people are different and somebody wants a bigger bottle, somebody wants a smaller bottle, somebody wants all of that. So what are you going to do? So one, sometimes you have to put your foot down.
Correct.
And see what is making sense.
Yeah, you can't be a friend to all. A friend to all is a friend to none.
People say that, oh, you can't please everyone, you're not a chocolate. Even chocolate cannot please everyone. No ice cream can please everyone. No, no matter what you are. So you got to figure out your audience. So now what we figured is, there are a lot of people who want to buy their kombucha on Swiggy, Zomato, whatever, or Instamart or whatever, quick commerce pe, Q-commerce pe, na? So we're like, great. We are not there. You will not find us there. If you want good kombucha, you know where to find us. Right. And people come to us. Yeah. They know that I have to order minimum 10 bottles. They will order 10 bottles. They will order 5. They will pay a delivery charge. I just on my way when I was driving here, this lady called me and she said, "Can I get I got sauerkraut from Amazon. Can I buy it from you directly? Where in Bombay do you deliver? Some pin code Andheri ka hi tha." So I'm like, yeah. Then I called her. I said, "Can I call you? It's just easier, man. I was driving, so it's just easier to call, right, than to read their text." So she said that, "Vikram, I bought it from Amazon, but it's a little bubbly because of the heat and everything," which is fine. I love it. But the thing is, it is really good.
And I have it often, I need it, yeah.
No, I'm from Europe, she said. I'm from Europe and I make a lot of stuff she was like Ukrainian, Russian, somewhere. So she's like, we eat a lot of this every day, but I haven't found a good one. And yours is just so good. It's crunchy, it's this, it's that, and everything. But the thing is, not everyone's that aware. And a lot of these products which we make also get a lot of negative feedback. Now, she also gave me a little feedback. You can do this, you can do this. Like, why are you not on quick commerce? I'm like, because of, whatever XYZ reason. But you can buy from Nature's Basket or Urban Platter or wherever you are nearby. But the problem is that if you really want to build a business, then you need to figure out कि भाई मैं क्या करूँ, मैं पैस्चराइज करूँ, मैं क्या कलर नेचुरल आइडेंटिकल कलर फ्लेवर जो भी मास्किंग एजेंट डालना है, बिकॉज फॉर मी मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट इज मनी. And when I tell people, now I have realized that, just be honest with people. Yeah. I don't want to sell something that I cannot give my family. Yeah. Period. Yeah. So if you're drinking this, there is no way of my team to know which bottle is this, as in, like they can't differentiate between two bottles that are coming out. Sure. Ki whether this one should go home and this one should go to a customer, right, or this one should go.
I would drink it, you would drink it, so you can't hide it.
So if you have a MAVI's product anywhere in the country, hai na?
Know that the founder is also drinking it.
Correct. That's as clean and as honest as it gets. Because यार पैसा तो बहुत जगह बनता है यार. I will make money eventually.
No, it happens. Like I notice a lot of these bigger brands, which are household names. You have actors, people endorsing it, and then they themselves are like, bro, don't touch this shit.
So just because you touched upon one of the things that somebody had said in another popular podcast, I happened to have that conversation with that gentleman, and I told him that, why are you using these artificial flavors, man? I thought you were all about kombucha. He's like, Vikram, you don't understand how to scale up a business. When you want to scale up, you have to do all these things. I'm like, sorry, that's a personal decision. That's a value thing. That's a value-driven decision that you have taken, that money and scaling up is more important than selling a clean product. So please do not call it, let's not get into an ethics class over this. Yeah. Right? You are making a product, but just be honest about it and accept it when somebody calls you out. If I call you out and say, ki, bhai, this kombucha is fake, right? Be okay with it. Don't call me and tell me that, this is very important and this is how you run a business. Don't tell me how to run a business. I'm not asking you how to run a business. I'm just asking you to be honest. So there is this, now I don't want to get into this over a podcast, but there's another big company now, right? Which I was consulting with. They called me to consult for whatever. Okay. And I didn't charge money because they said, we want you to make it for us. Kombucha and whatever. I'm like, great. They're like, can you do some R&D for us? I'm like, no problem. Like, what will you charge? I'm like, nothing. Whatever R&D I'm doing, all that product goes to you. Because I cannot sell everything, right? My product. So then ask me 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. I think a few months went by. And then there was a little gap. And then I told them, right, guys, now if you want to do any more R&D, this is my fees. This is what you need to pay me. Right? Then they said, oh, but then we'll talk about it and we'll get back to you. Then after some time, they got back to me and said, no, Vikram, we've shelved the product. we've shelved the entire line of fermented food. We are not doing it anymore. I'm like, great, no problem. What happened? Like, no, there's so much happening in the pipeline. We don't want to divert our focus. I think a few months down the line, 2 or 3 months down the line, I saw their products in one of the stores. I'm like, hey guys, I thought you were not. No, it is only because some of our clients have been asking us, why don't you give us this? Why don't you give us this? I'm like, okay. All right, okay. If you're doing only a very small scale, locally, whatever, fuck it. I can't stop everyone from, like, nobody could stop me from making kombucha, right? So how can anyone from making kombucha? Do whatever you want to make sauerkraut, make kimchi, whatever you want to make. Now they're selling across India on all platforms.
And this is a brand we all know.
Yeah. Right? A lot of money goes in, a lot of celebs endorsing it. The only thing they don't understand, people who are buying this brand, they are buying it because of the name. Okay? Whatever that name is. It would probably mean good gut health, etc., etc. But please turn the label and read. There is something called sodium benzoate in it. Sodium benzoate is a preservative which basically makes it hostile for the bacteria and yeast to grow. And these are the good ones that you want in your kombucha. Correct? That's what we've been talking about.
Sure.
Now you have put something that will kill them or make them impotent or whatever that thing they will do, right? Now imagine this chemical is also going into your body.
It's killing all the good bacteria.
And what will happen when that chemical enters your body? Let's say you added 1 gram of that chemical in whatever X amount. Some of it, 90% of it was used to kill everything. That 1% is still remaining. Right? Now that will enter your body. What do you think will happen in your body? The same bacteria that you actually wanted from the first place is not there. Plus, additionally, that will also get damaged because now you're drinking something.
Becomes an antibiotic.
So this customer who called me a little while ago, she said, Vikram, I have 2 people today called me. Said, Vikram, we are not well. Which kombucha will help us heal faster? Okay? And I'm like, nothing. Sleep, rest. This is more important. And eat balanced meal. No kombucha will heal you.
It's not kombucha, is not the milk.
Like, ऐसा नहीं है कि सब कुछ कर लिया. I smoked. I did not sleep all night. But I will have a kombucha. Now my life is good. No, bro. That's not going to happen. That's not how it works. So I was really pissed at this brand, okay, for doing this fake stuff and whatever. And also for duping me, man. Like using all my knowledge base and whatever research and whatever. I called the founder, but yeah, anyways, you know what? I don't have time for this. I have better things to do. Like I told you before we started the podcast, I would rather walk my dog than bang my head over with someone who does not understand. See, the moment you're open to kombucha or ginger ale or kimchi, one day you will find us on the internet.
Right.
And you will read all the negative things that have been written about us. That how we are very fizzy or how we are very... Expectation. But then you're like, oh, ये तो सही लिखा है, ये तो ऐसा होना चाहिए. ये तो होना चाहिए ना, but fizzy तो होना चाहिए. Smelly तो होना चाहिए. तो फिर हम लोग जो खा रहे हैं वो तो नहीं है. तो गड़बड़ का है. So then people will come back. So slowly, my business is growing. It will continue to grow. It will continue to thrive. And all the people who are selling in good conscience, selling things, knowing it's not really good for people. Man, सबका भगवान होता है ना? बोलते हैं everyone has their own God they pray to. So let them pray to their own God because one day they will have to answer all these questions that how in good...
You can sleep at night if you can.
How can you sleep at night, man, like doing this?
Vikram, before we wrap up today's session, so this is going to be a rapid fire. I'm going to shoot questions. Be quick, punchy, tuck. Number 1. What's one popular piece of business advice you think is actually BS?
It all works out in the end.
Okay. Hustle culture. Are you team rise and grind 24/7 or are you by work-life balance?
Work-life balance, that means get up, go to office, but in the evening you should have time to eat dinner in peace, watch Netflix, chill, walk your dog, meet your friends, all of that.
Passion versus stability. A lot of people dream of quitting their 9 to 5s and majority of the world does that. Having done that, do you think everyone should try entrepreneurship at least once or is 9 to 5 life underrated?
9 to 5 is definitely underrated, but you should try the other side. Only then you will know if it is for you or not for you.
So इसमें आप तो दोनों answers.
नहीं, you have to try it once at least to know that it is not for you. Because unless you tried it, you never know. I mean, now I know that I'm very good at 9 to 5. because my work-life balance, and I can work longer hours if required. But in entrepreneurship, you're stuck. Like, you don't have a choice. Like, if you call me, Elson, and say, Vikram, I want 30 bottles, friends are coming over, can you send it to me now? Like, as an entrepreneur, I can't say no to you, no? Correct. Even if that means that all my office staff has gone and I have to pack the bottles and send it through a porter, I will bloody do it.
Got it. This one I love it. Finish the sentence. Entrepreneurship is...
Perseverance and persistence.
Finish the sentence. Kombucha is...
My go-to drink at all times, at all weathers.
Okay. What's the first word that comes to your mind for these? Shark Tank.
Ashneer Grover. I did not know that is going to come to my mind.
Failure.
Life.
Success.
Family.
Family.
Support system.
And kombucha.
Entrepreneurship.
Okay, I like those answers. All of them are nice. Biggest failure. What's a failure you're glad you had because it taught you something invaluable?
The Maxshade incident. I realized that training is the key. Whether I want to sell 5 bottles or 500 bottles, I need to train the ground zero staff. Even if I do it once in 1 year or once in 6 months or once in 3 months, it is very, very, because you can't expect them to know everything that you know because if it's written in the bottle. People need to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I'm glad we closed the loop on that one. Yeah. Okay. Best versus worst advice. What's the best advice you've ever received, and what's the worst or most overrated advice you've heard in business?
Best advice is, Vikram, just keep doing what you're doing because you're doing fantastic, and it will you're ahead of your time, so it will take you some time, but stay there, don't give up. That was one of the advices that really makes me go all.
Most overrated advice?
Overrated, bhai, you need to scale up and funds raise karo. They say that after a certain amount of money, your happiness flattens. So like,
diminishing returns.
Yeah, law of diminishing returns. After a certain point, no matter how much money you have, you can't be happy. Today we can be happy. We can get a fancy car, fancy house. We can go both.
I saw your fancy guy.
No, that's a business requirement because people judge me because on the basis of my car. Unfortunately, a lot of times, when I had an i10, people would stop me. The moment I had a Hexa before the Safari. People stopped.
No, it's so true.
They would first open the door, then ask me what.
Bombay, I'm assuming.
Most of the places, but mostly Bombay, yes. Because if I'm going to Hiranandani, Powai, they're like,
I've faced this so many times, and that earlier I told you I come from as a Bangalore boy, but then idhar aake, like, people have only told me, bhai, क्या है shirt pant Nike वो सब चाहिए.
So ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. If you go to Delhi, then you will realize shirt pant Nike से दुकान में चलेगा भाई. Everything has to be a chandi also has to be चलिए सीखे only.
Okay. Message to younger self. If you could go back and tell 18-year-old Vikram or whatever that age is turning point, what would you say in one sentence?
Don't worry, it will work out.
I think there's a podcast in that as well, 18-year-old Vikram ke
Oh,
saath.
it gets crazy, man. Like the amount of stress that I've taken over my life over the last 20 years or so, it's stupid. Okay. Like, who was I saving for? What was I like, I haven't worked, like I haven't made money. I've worked very hard. I haven't made money in the last 7 years because whatever we earn goes back into the business, right? Yeah. So I have not made money. But like all the time that I saved money, right? By, like I said, lazy. And I'm like, I don't find the point of going eating out like 5,000 rupees spent with your girlfriend on
You're saving it up like an anthill.
Correct. Like before, I'm like middle class mentality. Correct. Middle class mentality. It's nothing to do with anything. Middle class mentality. Don't want to spend because save. Correct. Right? Then after some time you realize you end up spending on things you don't want to.
Pennywise and pound foolish.
Pennywise pound foolish. वो एक्सपीरियंस जो मैं तब ले सकता था मैंने नहीं लिया और आज मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है वो एक्सपीरियंस लेने के लिए. I was lucky in Merchant Navy कि मेरे पास टाइम भी था पैसा भी था. And all the things I did not do because I wanted to save some money. Yeah, I thought, oh, now I don't even have time even if I had the money.
Correct. Yeah, very true. If you were put up on a huge billboard in the middle of Bombay, in Mumbai, on one of those highways, with a message or quote from Vikram Mittal, big photo shoot, all of that is there, what would that mantra be? What would be that quote be? Billboard, huge.
I think I like the one by Steve Jobs. When you do something really good and amazing, you don't sit there and ponder. You go and do the next best thing. So like if you do something, you do something really good, or you are really good at something and you create something amazing. You don't just like keep celebrating it and keep over, same thing over and over. You do the next thing, right? Now you go and build the next best thing.
Fair enough.
So
Don't ruminate over successes or failures. Just move on. Life is a cycle.
my favorite quote, I think, this too shall pass.
Okay, I like that.
This too shall pass.
Okay. What's one thing about you that would surprise people? Something that we didn't talk about in the podcast. Maybe a talent, maybe some habit.
No, it's not that kind of a podcast. So I can't be sharing those talents.
No, I don't know what kind of podcast this is.
No, but I think the empathy, I think I'm very emotional. A lot of people might get surprised. A lot of people might get surprised. I don't know, because sometimes the feedback is I can come across as very cocky and arrogant sometimes. But I can be very, very emotional and yeah.
That's cool, yeah? Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Early morning, night owl?
So early morning.
Oh, okay. Money or impact?
Impact.
Mumbai or Delhi?
Mumbai.
Okay. Fermentation or fashion?
Fermentation, bro.
Okay. Industry change. If you could snap your fingers like Thanos, and you could change one thing about India's food and wellness industry overnight, what would you change?
I would ask all the influencers to eat and drink everything that they were promoting every time it was on TV. I'm telling you, half of our nutritional problems will be solved, because all of a sudden everyone will be drinking tons of Coke and all of that, and nobody will be drinking it anymore, because then they know. That I will change.
Last question, Vikram. Your legacy, many years down the line, what do you want to be remembered for?
Kombucha King.
Let's go. Okay, and now we have 3 cameras. I do this in every episode. I got inspired by, I think, the Hot Wings guys. Look into any one of those cameras. You have the nice lighting, etc. Tell the audience, tell your future wannabe entrepreneurs, tell your friends, family, your kids, whatever. The camera is all set. No questions from me. Something before we wrap up.
We worked really hard to come so far, and lucky enough that we had people who supported us on the way. So thank you to all of them. Yeah. But also understand that this isn't easy. And every time all of us make a decision or choose not just kombucha, but whatever we are consuming in life, whether it's a soft drink or whether it's a shirt that you're buying, whatever, I think 100% compassion or 100% awareness is going to be difficult, which I know from personal reasons. But I think we could all, even if we like 1%, we don't have to change the entire system. If you choose to do one thing better each day, and not necessarily that thing has to do every day, but one different thing, like you choose a better product for yourself, a cleaner product for yourself, you choose to be a little kinder when you didn't have to be or you did not want to be. I think if we all of it did that, the world would just fall, everything would fall into place. Like there would be no problems, we would be healthier, we would sleep better, we would be better relationships. Everything, if we just did one thing better than we can or we want to. Just a little better.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope I did justice to the podcast, and I hope you had fun more than anything.
I think this, like, you know how like Vijay Mallya's like Raj Shamani's most podcasts are like 2 hours usually or something. And the Vijay Mallya's went on for 4 hours, right? मुझे जब भी ऐसा conversation when we are doing, I always feel कि when we have, especially when we are talking about a bunch of things, there's never enough time.
Yeah, I would love to continue. It's just that the guys there are like, where time.
Well, that's all right.
But we'll
that's all
probably
right.
do maybe episode 2 or,
Yeah,
I'd
sure.
love to see how the brand also evolves.
100%.
Super excited, yeah. Thank you so much for coming, taking.
Alright guys, here's your chance to win the fantastic drinks that you saw in today's episode. What I want you to do is follow us on Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow Vikram's channel, his work as well, and shoot me in the DMs one thing that you liked about today's episode and one thing that you learned, and share your address and I will shoot a lovely package to you. Cheers, and I hope you enjoyed it.